Hello. So, some of the things that I thought I would share that are going on with me and my pregnancy. So, I am 27 weeks and like 4 days or something like that. I don't know. I'll keep track of the days. But anyway, that puts me 3 weeks away from when I delivered my triplets, which to me is like a safe mark. So I'm hoping and praying that everything continues to go. I say well for the babies, not necessarily for me. This pregnancy has been crazy. So I already talked about the swelling in my face, my hands. Like this time I've had to take off all my rings. I can't wear them. And then also, like my feet and my ankles are swollen. They just almost don't go down. Yesterday I was at my niece's birthday party and my leg was leaned up against, I don't know, the chair or the table or something, and I just happened to, when I was about to get up, I looked down and I had this huge indent in my leg just from sitting. Like, everything is crazy. I just walked out of the dentist right now, and apparently I have pregnancy gingivitis. So when I had the triplets, I was like 27 years old. Now I'm 34. So 1 year away from what they call a geriatric pregnancy, a 35-year geriatric and pregnant. So anyway, I've had so many different things going on in my body. The last time with the triplets, it was like, it was a whirlwind too, but it was more with the babies and not necessarily me. So my boys had twin-to-twin transfusion. So one had way too much fluid, one didn't have enough fluid. I went in for amniocentesis, which is where they drain fluid from the baby. And the one that had too much was obviously a bigger one, and the one that didn't have enough was smaller. And so because of the twin-to-twin transfusion, my husband and I had to fly to Cincinnati for like a week, and they had to do this procedure to try to drain a bunch fluid. And in the end, it turned out great. The sac, so they're identical, right? But so identical twins have one sac essentially, but there's a small membrane that separates the babies, and that membrane broke while they were in there. And that was a blessing in and of itself, because then they shared fluid and they were both able to develop just fine, but then they were able to actually like touch each other without a separation, which is, I think, is pretty cool at thought. And then when I came back from Cincinnati, my doctor checked me and I was dilating. When she checked me, I was already at a 2. And, well, rewind. So when we came back, everything was that was good, but then I had some kind of complication, I don't remember. So they told me to take it easy at home, I'll be on bed rest. I did that for a few days to a week. I went in for my check and I was dilated 2 centimeters. So then, like, she said, okay, so we're gonna have to cerclage you, which is like stitch up your cervix, which sounds crazy and maybe to some people gross, but so they had to do a cerclage. They stitched up my cervix because, so she said she would watch it, and then like an hour later I was dilated to like a 5 or 6, and she's like, yep, you're getting it stitched up and we're gonna put you on bed rest. I was on bed rest in the hospital for 2.5 months. Can you imagine being in the hospital for 2.5 months? And I have 2 other kids, right? And they were like 4 and 2 at the time. And it was over Thanksgiving, Christmas, and it's kind of funny because Christmas time came, right? And I was like, my babies need to be here with me. I can't have Christmas with my kids not here. Like, that doesn't make sense. To who would that make sense to? Nobody, right? So I told them they have to come, and they said it's against hospital policy. We can't have the kids stay here, and then if we do it for you, we have to do it for everybody else. I was like, well, I'm going home then. I mean, there's no other rational solution. So I said I was going home. Anyway, they weren't allowing me to go home. So they let my kids stay, and they had this huge Christmas party, and they brought them gifts. I didn't decorate, but we had a tree, and it was fun. Anyway, so back to this current pregnancy. I have pregnancy carpal tunnel, you guys. This is insane. So my hands are numb all the time. I didn't even know there was a such thing as pregnancy carpal tunnel. Like, what? I can't feel anything. They're always tingling. It's weird. But there's so many different things that can happen in pregnancy that I'm finding. I knew there were many things, but I'm finding out a lot of stuff with these multiples. And so, I have gotten pregnant, obviously, with multiples 2 times, and it's all natural. I have no extra hormones, no extra help. What I want to understand is how the heck, so they tell you, right, that when you're in high school going through those classes, like, sperm has to like fight its way through, and it's hard for it to get in there. How in the world did I get pregnant with triplets if sperm's hard to get in there, right? So that means that 3 of his sperm, not 1 or 2, 3, because I had 2 eggs drop, 1 split. 3 of his sperm were able to get in there and fertilize them eggs, and then it happened again. What is up? That man has like super sperm. And people tell me, why the heck are my eggs dropping so many? Why the heck is all of his sperm getting in there? I don't know. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. If y'all have any questions, let me know. I feel like I've been on here talking, chit-chatting for too long. So, hit me up.